Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber Security Plus podcast. This series helps you prepare for the CompTIA Security Plus exam with focused explanations and practical context. For a companion study guide, check out the Achieve CompTIA Security Plus 701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. It is the most concise and complete Security Plus guide on the market, built for busy professionals who want to pass the exam fast and on their first try. You can find this book and others at cyberauthor.me. Remote and hybrid work are now a permanent part of how business gets done. And while they've brought flexibility and efficiency to many teams, they've also introduced a new set of security challenges that organizations can't afford to ignore. Working from home, co-working spaces, coffee shops, and flexible office setups means more endpoints, more variables, and more exposure. That's why employee awareness around hybrid and remote work security is not optional, it's essential. In this episode, we'll look at how to train users to maintain strong security in remote environments, and how to manage secure transitions between home and office workspaces. Let's begin with securing remote work environments. When employees work outside the office, they leave the safety of the corporate network. There's no central firewall, no managed Wi-Fi, and often no visibility into what's going on around them. That puts more pressure on endpoint protection, user behavior, and training. So the first step is teaching users to treat every environment like a potential risk zone. That means never assuming a home network is secure by default. Employees should be trained to change default router passwords, enable strong encryption like WPA3, and separate work devices from personal devices using guest networks or virtual LANs. They should also be taught to keep router firmware updated, just like any other device. When working in shared or public spaces, awareness becomes even more important. Employees need to understand that shoulder surfing is real, that sitting in a cafe with your screen facing outward could easily expose sensitive information. Screen filters, awareness of surroundings, and even positioning can make a difference. And public Wi-Fi should never be trusted. Virtual private networks, or VPNs, should be standard for any remote session on untrusted networks. A VPN encrypts data between the user and the organization, reducing the chances of interception or man-in-the-middle attacks. Let's walk through a real-world example. An employee logs into the company's financial systems from a hotel using the lobby's open Wi-Fi. They forget to use a VPN and their session is hijacked by someone sniffing traffic on the network. As a result, credentials are exposed and access is granted to an unauthorized user. This could have been prevented with basic training around VPN usage and remote work protocols. Another issue is physical security. In a home or hybrid setting, employees should lock screens when stepping away from devices, store laptops securely when not in use, and avoid leaving sensitive paperwork in plain sight. Devices should be configured to auto-lock after a short period of inactivity, and two-factor authentication should be required for all access to cloud platforms or internal systems. Organizations can also provide employees with secure hardware, like encrypted USB drives, pre-configured laptops, and company-managed mobile devices, to reduce the use of personal, unmonitored endpoints. The fewer uncontrolled devices in the mix, the easier it is to maintain a consistent security posture across the remote workforce. Let's also not forget about updates and patches. Employees need to understand that software updates aren't just about new features, they're about fixing known vulnerabilities. Whether it's a browser, an operating system, or a collaboration app, unpatched systems are one of the easiest entry points for attackers. In a hybrid work model, automatic updates should be enabled, and the security team should have visibility into patch status across remote devices. Clear guidance is key. Users should know who to contact for support, how to report suspicious activity, and where to access secure documentation. Remote workers need the same level of clarity and support as on-site employees, and that starts with training. Now let's move to best practices for hybrid work. Hybrid models blend office time with remote work, but switching between environments creates new risk if not handled properly. The challenge isn't just about securing each environment, it's about securing the transition between them. Start with the basics. When moving between home and office, employees should avoid using unsecured external storage devices to transfer files. Instead, they should rely on company-managed cloud storage or encrypted collaboration platforms that offer audit trails and access controls. File syncing should be automated where possible so that work done remotely is securely backed up and integrated with internal systems. Devices used in both environments should follow consistent policies. That includes antivirus software, encryption, firewall settings, and application control. If a device connects to the corporate network on Monday, then spends Tuesday on a home Wi-Fi and Wednesday in a shared co-working space, its security posture shouldn't change based on location. Uniform configuration helps reduce the chance of one-off vulnerabilities slipping through the cracks. One of the biggest mistakes organizations make in hybrid setups is allowing too much flexibility without clear guardrails. For example, if users are allowed to connect their own devices to the office network without screening or install unauthorized software to get around compatibility issues, those small decisions can snowball into major gaps. Let's consider another scenario. An employee downloads an app at home to help with PDF editing. It's free, easy to use, and not vetted by IT. When they bring their laptop into the office, that same app begins initiating background connections to an external server. No one notices until strange activity shows up in the firewall logs. This isn't theoretical. Consumer-grade apps, browser extensions, and cloud services often introduce unintended risk. In a hybrid environment, clear policy about approved tools and app stores is critical. Training should also reinforce the importance of logging out, clearing local caches, and not saving credentials in browsers. Users working across locations may be tempted to store passwords or reuse logins just for convenience, but that convenience opens doors that attackers are all too eager to walk through. Another area of concern is printers and IoT devices. At home, users may connect to smart devices or use consumer-grade printers that lack security controls. These devices often live on the same network as work devices. That means any vulnerabilities in them could be used to pivot into corporate systems. Training should explain why this matters and offer tips for isolating work devices from smart home technology, whether that's through segmentation, guest networks, or disabling unnecessary features. And finally, hybrid security isn't just technical, it's behavioral. When switching between home and office, users may forget the policies they're used to following in one location. For example, someone might be vigilant about locking their screen in the office, but more relaxed at home, even with family members or roommates around. Or they might leave sensitive papers on a desk at home without realizing that those documents are still subject to the same privacy standards. Reminders and refreshers help. A quick training video, an onboarding checklist, or a rotating screensaver message can keep security top of mind during transitions. Even something as simple as a once-a-month hybrid hygiene reminder can nudge users to double-check their setups. As you prepare for the Security Plus exam, be ready to identify remote work security measures and hybrid work best practices. If a scenario involves training users to secure home networks or avoid risky public Wi-Fi, it's about remote security. If the scenario describes transitions between office and home or introduces inconsistent behaviors, that's about managing hybrid risks. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cybersecurity Plus podcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com. And before you take the test, make sure to check out the practice questions in the book Achieve CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. They cover every domain and are a powerful way to lock in your knowledge.